Welcome to Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. Beautiful sky tonight. Clouds are clearing up. Very warm today. Very humid. Very muggy. Dew point is about 72. It's about 90 degrees today. Not as hot as it was supposed to be, but that happens very often here with the weather people. Trying to get people to watch. They exaggerate a lot. I talk about that often, actually. So I'm going to sweat on this walk an awful lot. It's still about 86 degrees. Sun is going down though. We'll be finishing this walk in the dark, more than likely. Dropped part of my selfie stick. And all this excitement. I don't want to get too excited. Anyways, I'm going to do a basic 5 mile tonight, I think, because it's warm. Tougher walking when it's hot and humid. I've mentioned that before. Heart rate goes up and your body tries to cool down, and because you're walking, your blood vessels and stuff are already expanded to get more oxygen. So sometimes you have a difficult time cooling down. So we're gonna walk. Take my time. I did not walk yesterday. Had things to do. Well, Trump had a rally this past weekend, and a lot of people are upset at something he talked about. And I've never considered myself to be a hardcore conservative, more of a moderate, even though people have told me I'm a conservative. I think I've mentioned that to you before. I've really never felt like I was a conservative. I am MAHA though, however. And Trump was talking about the farmers, and the farmers overwhelmingly voted for Trump, and they supported the tariffs. Okay, I need to mention that at first because they supported Trump's take on the tariffs, understanding that that's going to be good for American farmers, because all of the fruit and vegetables that get imported into this country, and these countries get to sell all this stuff for cheap, and Trump said he would take care of that, which he is. Now here comes the big problem. The farmers have contacted the Trump administration and said, you know, wait a minute here. If you go deporting all these people, we're not going to have anybody to pick the fruit and the vegetables. And there's also some farmers that have been here for decades, and they're not legal citizens either. And technically, Ronald Reagan is the one that gave a lot of the illegals amnesty back when. So I think you know where this is going. Trump stated that the farmers are going to need some help, and he's tossing around the idea, and this is a quote from Trump, of having legislation to do something about illegals and helping farmers. In other words, legislation that would allow illegals to work on the farms and pick the fruit and the vegetables, and immediately the entire MAGA world was up in arms, flailing their arms around, screaming at Trump for breaking promises like they did when he bombed Iran. I'll turn the camera around, saying that Trump was breaking a campaign promise of no amnesty. And you even have some conservative influencers online talking about Trump giving mass amnesty. People in the circle have told us that Trump is going to give mass amnesty to illegals. Really don't know where that comes from. I've never heard Trump say that. All I can think of is that these influencers are trying to get people riled so they can make money online with ad revenue. Otherwise, I can't think of why anybody would say that. What Trump said was very clear. The farmers who voted for Trump went to Trump and his administration and said, we need to do something about this because I don't have enough people to do my work, and if I don't have these illegals, Americans don't want to do this job, I'm not going to be able to farm. So what's that going to do if they can't farm? That's going to raise the prices of everything in the grocery stores that you like to buy and eat, because Trump has tariffs on these other countries that import all this stuff, specifically so he could help the farmers. So, common sense would tell you they're going to have to come up with a compromise. These people working in the fields are either going to get some kind of visas to work here legally and pay taxes, or they're going to have to get partial amnesty to be U.S. citizens, farmers specifically. Now, this isn't people that are here illegally on welfare, healthcare, criminals. These are some of the people that are illegal are farmers. They've been here for 30, 40 years farming, okay? They've been producing, they've been good citizens, they haven't been in trouble. They've been good non-citizens, I should say. We're gonna have to make a compromise. That's just the reality we're in. Americans don't want to go out in the field and pick the fruit. They just don't. So I'm going to do what I have done up to this point. I'm going to trust in Trump. Okay? I'm going to trust the man. He knows what he's doing and he's got a plan. So I'll just leave that at that. And we'll get to where we're going, okay? Trump isn't breaking promises. He's not granting mass amnesty. But he said they're going to be working on legislation. Basically, will ensure that the food gets picked, okay? There has to be a solution. He also said when he said that he knows a bunch of people are going to be upset. namely conservatives, he said. He goes, there's going to be a lot of far-right conservatives that are going to be upset, but he thinks he'll end up liking it, he said. They'll end up liking it. And of course, like I've said on this walk many times, many Republicans are not used to winning. Then when we do, they end up fighting with one another or stabbing each other in the back. Because I think psychologically, a lot of the mindset, people are happier when we're losing. They're more focused on what needs to be done. And then when you win, you realize, well, son of a bitch, Juan Valdez has to pick the damn coffee beans, doesn't he? Because they don't want to do it. So until Elon Musk robots are able to work the fields, we're going to need some illegals. There has to be a solution there somewhere. I trust in Trump, and we'll see what happens. That's the other thing too. People should wait and see what happens before they start flailing their arms around in the air. You either voted for the guy that's the right guy for the job, or you didn't. So if you want to go along with the Democrats and criticize everything Trump does, then do that. I'm not going to do that. We do need people to pick the fruit. It's obvious. There's no denying it. You know, we need to live in reality, and that's just the reality of it. Giving some people that have been here for 20, 30 years, working, not taking tax dollars. Every year they grow the fruit or pick the fruit. I don't see why we can't work out some kind of deal, because those are the kind of people we want, isn't it? We don't want the criminals and the riffraff. So, again, I'm going to support Trump and trust him until I see otherwise. Now, the other news item today, kind of amusing, is everybody is upset at Trump. That is MAHA. Over the Epstein list. The Epstein client list that everybody assumes is there. Dan Bongino pretty much built an empire on things like Epstein didn't kill himself, and there's an Epstein client list of people that need to go to jail. Now the DOJ came out today and expressly says there is no Epstein client list, and there's no there with regard to Epstein committing suicide. Now, I've talked about this on the walk before. I have stated that people on the client list, because obviously he had clients. The DOJ says there's no evidence saying that Epstein blackmailed people with sex tapes, although Pam Bondi says there are sex tapes, which we're not going to make public because they're too graphic and horrible. So obviously there are people on sex tapes having sex with minors, which I would assume they're going to get prosecuted. But there's no actual list, and there's no actual book kept client list despite Ghislaine Maxwell getting prosecuted, apparently there's no client list. No hard, like, look, here is a client list. So a lot of the MAGA base are very upset today because they're expecting there to be one. So, hi. So they were expecting one to be there, and there isn't. So I don't know what to tell you guys. All I know is you would have to say that Trump sold us out, Kash Patel sold us out, Dan Bongino sold us out, and Pam Bondi sold us out. They're hiding a big secret for some reason. They conspired together to say that there's nothing there. And if you're ready to say that, then clearly you voted for the wrong guy when you voted for Trump. And these people that he appointed are mistakes. Can't have it both ways. Either we've been sold out, Trump lied and he's the establishment, or he didn't. And the Democrats were right, and you're stupid for trusting Trump and voting for him, because he's lying to you all the time. And trust us, you'll see. So that's either the case with you or it isn't. Which is it? Which is it, my friends? I know Kash Patel would not sell us out, and neither would Dan Bongino. They were very emphatic and say, look, we saw the evidence, there's nothing there. They even released video footage that we have not seen yet of Epstein's jail cell at the time he committed suicide. Nobody goes in or out. Now, the conspiracy theorist doesn't want to hear that because they want conspiracy theories. You can believe what you want to, but the evidence is what it is. And I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. I trust in Trump, is what I'm saying. Pretty sky tonight. Look at that. Yes, there are people boinking miners on video. So people are like, well, what did he record the video for? A keepsake? Well, probably. Or he was using it to blackmail. And it was stated that there's no hard evidence there was a blackmail ring going, and there's no hard evidence that there's a list. Doesn't mean there wasn't one. But in America, the DOJ needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt of people on a list. Now, if there's people having sex with minors on video, obviously there are, because we've seen them. Despite not seeing the videos, they exist, in other words. So you be the judge. Let me know your comments, please. I really want to hear. And I want to hear your opinions. And I am genuinely interested in your opinions. Now I'm wondering if tonight I shouldn't have walked, because it is very warm and very humid. And I'm not 20 years old. So we'll find out if I die on this walk or not. Well, that looks pretty cool. That's the USA and blue line for police officers on the same pole. Very interesting. I am soaked with sweat already. I've only walked 1.5 miles. That's why I said that. I'm feeling it tonight, folks. I need to take it easy. Need to remember I'm not 20 years old. Absolutely no breeze tonight whatsoever is the other problem. I think I'm going to shorten my route tonight. I'm going to do one of my original routes. Which is under 5 miles, but over 4 miles. And I've had this happen before, where I was walking, started feeling the walk, and every single time it's because I'm low on iron. And I have not taken iron lately. I gotta sit out on this wall and cool off here a few minutes. I'll sit down right here and rest for a spell. It's a pretty looking sky tonight. Absolutely no breeze whatsoever tonight. My face is wet. Oops. There we go. My face is wet tonight, and I am soaked with sweat, head to toe. I can feel sweat running down my legs under my jeans. So I'm gonna take it easy. Got my heart rate up. Sitting down, it's coming down, which is what it's supposed to do. But like I told you from experience, when you're walking and your heart rate gets up, when it's hot and humid, it gets up 20 to 30 beats per minute more than when it's not warm. As far as I can tell, that is a normal feature from your blood vessels expanding to get more oxygen. So I'm going to hang a left up ahead instead of my normal go straight route, as I get bugs landing in my eye. And the reason for that is it's going to shorten my walk by about a mile. I think I'll be okay with that tonight. It's the route I used to walk before stretching it out to 5 and 6 miles. Catching a little bit of a breeze. So as always, don't overdo it. Handle what your health and your age allows. And you have to remember that this is a walking and fitness vlog. Okay, it's an exercise vlog. It's not a political podcast or anything. I just talk about things that I talk about. And you don't want to overdo it. It is warm tonight. Ooh, that's a nice little breeze. Some more of that would be nice. If I could get a nice breeze for the rest of this walk, it would be fine. But like I said, the dew point is about 72, which is very high. And it's in the low 80s right now. I think we're going to head back out now. Definitely don't want to overdo it. Whew, I'm getting a nice breeze right now. That happens a lot sometimes as the sun goes down because the thermal activity in the atmosphere changes. You get some updrafts and downdrafts. So what I used to do on my walks is I used to hang a left here. That's what I'm going to do. These pretty flowers here. Very nice flowers. I just got some sprinkling from the sprinklers. Pretty nice sky tonight. I ain't gonna lie, my friends, I was getting too hot there. Ooh, look at that pretty sky. Not expecting thunderstorms tonight. Doesn't mean we won't get any. So this is kind of fun because I used to walk this rock a lot, this route, before recording it on video. I'm definitely feeling a little anemic tonight, a little light in the iron. And I told you, health-wise, I am prone to vitamin deficiency. I've been taking vitamins like B12 and vitamin C, magnesium, but I have not taken iron lately. And I think I need to do that. Walking when it's hot and humid is not my favorite thing. Now don't worry about me or anything. I'm not dying or anything like that. Just physically, it's more difficult to get into it because of the humidity. And we got these kids on electric bikes. watch them very carefully. A lot of gnats tonight too. All kinds of bugs on my face. I'm not enjoying this tonight. Yep, I should have skipped tonight walking. It's a combination of walking every day, Hi. I don't believe how much I'm sweating. This is crazy. Salute the flag every time I go by here. Feels like the air is so thick. Sweat dripping off me on my hands. This is not fun. I am not enjoying this. You know me, I don't edit my walks. I leave everything in it. Unless there's something I say by accident that I don't want known, like I've told you before. Like mentioning where somebody lives that I know by accident just because I'm in a conversation. I'll actually make a mental note of something and edit it out, which is fine. But I am definitely going to cut this walk short. There's no shame in doing that. I definitely got my heart rate up pretty high tonight because it's humid. And you know, that's one of those things. I remember years ago, somebody about my age was playing ice hockey. They were healthy, didn't have any heart issues, and they actually had experienced cardiac arrest and died on the ice rink because they got their heart rate up really high. And right now my heart rate is up there, and I'm 57, so I need to be smart about this. I'm slowing my pace down, and I'm gonna head back home. Sit in front of the air conditioner, which will feel very nice. Damn bugs. I've had walks like this in the past where it was hot and humid and I shouldn't have walked, and I cut it early, and a couple of times I didn't upload those, but I think I'll upload this one just because it's a nice night. It is a nice walk. I'm just not feeling optimal tonight because of the heat, and it is hot. It's not my imagination. We had the heat warning today telling people not to do what I'm doing now. Of course, I'm a stupid person, so here I am. I am absolutely soaked with sweat. I didn't bring anything to drink with me. So strike two on being stupid. Number three, I'm wearing jeans. I'm having a hard time cooling off because my jeans are soaked. And it's not windy. You'd think, after all the walking I've done, I would know better. Hi, you're being recorded. How badly I wish I could get a breeze right now. Any kind of breeze. I really hate being vitamin deficient. I really do. Because you don't notice how things are until you're out walking. If you take too much iron, it's not good. If you don't take enough, it's not good either. Ooh, a breeze. I don't know how you guys down south do it. I would die if I lived down in Florida or something, or Georgia. Probably a lot of you down there spend a lot of time indoors with the AC. Yep, I am having a hard time not overheating. I'm really feeling this tonight, guys. It's not good. I'd love nothing more than to have some water, not to drink, but to douse my head with it and my arms and stuff. I am definitely feeling uncomfortable. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So that's a good breeze. Best breeze I've had yet. Let's cut across here. Police car parked here. I don't know what he's doing here. Probably lives here. I'm doing okay, friends. I'm not going to pass out and collapse or anything. I am just overheating. I think tonight if I walked 6 miles, I would be in trouble. I'd have to stop and rest somewhere, find some water to cool off. Tonight's walk is going to be about 4 miles. Good enough for me. Everybody's AC is on. I thought about it too. I was like, you know, last time you stuck your head out the door and it was this humid, you turned around and came right back in. And it's only because I didn't walk yesterday that I tried it tonight. I wanted to get at least some kind of walking in tonight. Should have just stayed home. Across here. Whew. going to be warm like this tomorrow also. So I don't think I'll be walking tomorrow. A couple days from now, we're going to get another cool front. It's going to go from being 96 during the day to 76 a couple days from now. I feel better now that I took my ball cap off. It's letting the heat escape through the top of my head. Definitely noticeable difference. The other thing I want to say too is, if you look at this hat, it looks purple. This was pitch black. I've worn this to the range several times. I've worn it walking, and the sun bleaches it. And it's turning purple, but it's a high quality hat. I bought this hat probably 25 years ago, maybe 20, in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's a good quality hat. It's because it's not made in China. I gotta watch traffic here. Across the street. Amazing how quickly people speed through this part. Speed limit here is, I think it's 25 or 30, 35. People who drive through here, like those two cars, were doing close to 50. You can see the deer crossing sign. And we have seen deer get hit here, haven't we? Tonight is the night. I should have brought a spray bottle with water in it. I should have brought the backpack with something to drink. Should have worn shorts. And I should have had a tank top. And no hat. So tonight I'm finding out how much heat a hat actually traps in, because I'm feeling much better since taking the hat off. Now my body's able to cool. But hey, it is what it is, my friends. I'd be hot if I was 20 years old. It's hot today. deer tonight. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, so what I was saying about Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, you know, a lot of MAGA people want to see people go to jail. And, you know, while they're upset at Pam Bondi and the Epstein thing, the FBI and DOJ today coordinated a big raid on illegals today with a couple of ringleaders that got arrested. Big arrests. So, you know, they're arresting people. They're doing a good job. And people are going to focus on the conspiracy theory stuff. There has to be an Epstein list and client list. And I can guarantee you, people on video having sex with minors, they're going to get prosecuted if they can be identified. And you can establish all the evidence to prosecute them. You can't just have video evidence. You have to build cases. And as I stated, okay, we're 6 months into the Trump administration. I said after a year, I'll start getting upset. Remember I said that a couple months ago? You have to remember the previous administration did absolutely no work on any of this stuff. Nothing. So, you know, cut these people some slack. They came in with establishment people that hate Trump, hiding evidence, hiding things on them, keeping secrets. And Kash Patel said he found literally a whole room people didn't know about that had computer equipment in it and files, and it was kind of like their backroom thing that the Biden administration was doing. So give them some time. You know, I trust Trump and I trust his people. And if they say there's no client list, there's no client list. They can't manufacture one just to make everybody happy. Everybody assumed there was one. They assumed Epstein got all his money from blackmailing people. There was never any proof of it. But that lore has become truth, in fact, because conservative influencers have talked about it like it's all established fact. So I'm going to give them another 6 months. If people are on video having sex with children, then, you know, they need to be prosecuted. And they will be. Can't imagine them not prosecuting people. And then, because of Elon Musk, people are saying that, oh, Trump's covering this up because he's on there in those videos. Listen, if he was in those videos, that would have come out so long ago. It would have come out before the election, done by the previous administration, who has been crooked and dishonest about everything. So use your heads, people. All I'm going to tell people is think for one thing, and then react later. You know, look at the common sense stuff that's going on around you, and then think about it, and then react to it after you've thought about it. They would have done anything to keep Trump from being elected. You know that. So, Attorney General Garland and the FBI Director, Wray, would have released this stuff before now, don't you think? If there was anything involving Trump, instead of hiding it somewhere at the Southern District in New York like they did, just chill out. Chill out, guys. I get it. You've been waiting over 10 years for people to go to jail. I understand. getting mad at the people you just voted for have only been there for 6 months and haven't arrested the whole planet yet, it's not the way to do it. We'll get there, okay? I promise you. A year from now, well, 6 months from now, we'll make a year. And if there's no charges against people between now and then I'll be upset. But I have faith in Trump, and I trust him, and I trust the people that he got in those positions. So we'll be okay. Across the street. Whew. Damn, my friends, it is hot tonight. I'll be coming up on 4 miles shortly, and I'm not enjoying this. I feel like I've walked 6. So I'm going to be happy when this walk ends tonight. I'm going to drink about 1 gallon of liquids. I'm not even joking. At least a half gallon, a couple of quarts. Awfully cloudy tonight. So I like to walk 5 miles as a minimum, or else I don't feel like I got a good workout. But I'll make the exception tonight, because tonight 4 miles feels like 6. It's hot and humid. I am sweating to death, probably dehydrating. My shirt is literally soaked. I mean, physically wet. And my pants are too. It's not as enjoyable tonight. Now, if it was a breeze tonight, and I had brought some water, and a spray bottle for misting my face, cool myself, probably be enjoying this more. That horn beep, by the way, was somebody who felt somebody in front of them was not reacting and turning fast enough. So we'll be coming up on the end of this walk at 4 miles. Up ahead. just about at 4 miles right now. So that is my original 4-mile route that I used to do 2.5, 3 years ago. And then I changed it to 5 at least, which I have had for the last 3 years. Half the time I do 6, most of the time it's at least 5. And tonight 4 miles will be plenty. Wow, I am literally drenched in sweat. This is crazy. So I'm going to end the walk with you up ahead. And turn this around. As I just hit 4 miles in my ear. So my friends, I'm going to sign off with you. Remember to click like and subscribe. I still have about another mile to walk, but we did 4 miles together, you and I. So anyways, my friends, click like and subscribe, share the content, stay out of trouble, be good to one another, okay? You know, had to change the battery. Be good to one another, say a prayer for Trump and the country. And God bless you and your family. And really though, thank you for walking with me. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna strip off everything and get in front of the air conditioner. And I'm gonna enjoy it. Absolutely, 100%. So my friends, until the next walk, you know, we gotta have Trump's back, okay? And we need to trust him. So we'll see you on the next walk, my friends. I'm not going to give 1 damn inch ever to the Democrats. Not an inch. Not 1 bit. I will hold Trump accountable if he does something wrong, but I'm not seeing him do anything wrong. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, like I did with the Iran bombing. Remember, I told you guys, don't overreact. It's not a new war in the Middle East, and I was right. And now was listening to a couple of guys in the Middle East that are going to be negotiating with Hamas in Gaza, Palestine, and I think we're starting to see a new thing in the Middle East. I think we're going to see some hard-fought peace, and I think people are just tired of all the killing and the death. And I think we're going to see some good things in the Middle East. Maybe I'm just being an optimist. They've been fighting for a long time. But there's a sense that people have had enough of it, and it's time for people to prosper. And I think it took thousands of people dying after Hamas attacked Israel. And removing Iran's military power, I think, was a big... I think that was a big thing that did a lot, and I think we need to give Trump credit instead of criticizing him for things. People are too quick to criticize. So anyways, my friends, we'll see you on the next walk, and like I said, God bless you. Thank you for walking with me, and we will see you on the next walk. Bye-bye.